So speaking of unnecessarily difficult, Jared Leto's back in a movie. Except this time it's Tron 3. And I feel like, I don't know about you, Josh, but I feel like we talked about this not that long ago on the podcast. Like, I feel like we've talked about Tron 3 before. Like, yeah, we're getting a Tron 3 with Jared Leto. But now Disney's like, no. We're serious this time. We're opening the new coaster and everything. And I'm going, if it's going to be anything like the coaster, we're in for a world of trouble. Just because, okay. Let me get on my soapbox here, y'all. Living in the greater Orlando area, Disney World has been advertising for genuinely 7 years that we're going to open this new Tron coaster. It's not a new coaster. It's literally copy and pasted from another Disney park overseas somewhere. So they already have the blueprints and materials and they just have to make that freaking thing. But it took them 7 years. And Disney will be like, well, we had COVID. Did that stop you from 2016 to 2020? It is a track outdoor coaster. And I think Disney's looking at this going, okay, we spent too much on the coaster. We need some brand synergy. We need to greenlight this new Tron movie quickly, please, because we need some brand recognition here. I joke, but I actually kind of suspect that might be the case of, okay, we just installed a new Tron coaster in the park. We need a new Tron movie to go with this new Tron coaster because everything in the park has to be tied to some movie somehow. The last movie came out in 2010. That's too long ago. We need a new Tron. People didn't like it and didn't see it, really? People will like this one. Get someone that people like. People like Jared Leto. Morbius is creating a lot of memes. People like memes. Let's make a new Tron with Morbius. Going, that's a great idea, guys.
Okay, to his credit, Jared Leto is not the problem with that movie. He is at the very least fairly convincing as Morbius. I mean,
I buy him as a bloodsucker.
Oh,
as a blood-sucking leech.
Stop it. Look, ever since his Joker, people just love to crap all over him. I am not saying that he is a
You included. Don't wash your hands of this, Pontius.
No, I know what we all know. He's capable of the weird and eccentric performances, and you know what? Sure, why not? I mean, de-aging Jeff Bridges wasn't going to save that second one, so you know what? Let's throw Jared Leto in there. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, you know what I mean? What else do you want to do with this? Just whatever, sure.
Here's the harsh reality that Disney, as well as diehard Tron fans, don't want to admit, but I'll say it anyway. Tron is very, very similar to Blade Runner. It was groundbreaking and revolutionary for the world of entertainment and for sci-fi. But it didn't leave as much of a cultural impact as those diehard fans of that material seem to think it does. That way, when the movie got rebooted in the 2000s, those diehard fans went to see it, but general audiences didn't. Now, am I talking about Blade Runner 2049 or Tron Legacy? You decide. And now we're getting yet another one. We're getting Blade Runner 2099, and I still think that's not going to do well. And we're getting Tron Ares, and I'm going, y'all, I don't think you're learning the right lessons here. I think there are good stories to tell in Tron, and I think it's super funny that the director of Tron Legacy is now the guy that did one of the movies nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, is your Top Gun Maverick, Joseph Kosinski. And I'm just like, how does this connect? Okay. Maybe he just needed Christopher McQuarrie to help rein in the story. I want to be excited for this because Tron Legacy was one of the movies that I was the most excited for actually ever. I think the Tron Legacy trailers are some of the best trailers that have ever come out. It looks slick. It looks stylish. And the movie happened and it is incredibly boring. I think there's enough potential in Tron, but you need a good story. And I don't think the first two really have that.
Agreed.
Tron, I think, both the original and Tron Legacy, it is very dense sci-fi. It is not casual sci-fi, and that is totally fine. Unless you're trying to market it for a broad audience, in which case the general population, you kind of have to dumb some stuff down. Like, my dad is a computer person before computers even existed. He was like a computer science person in college back in the 80s. He likes the first Tron. It's not his favorite, but like he could follow Tron because he knows the inner workings of computer technology. I'm just going, so there's a RAM and a GPU? Okay.
And I see you.
And there's bright colors. Cool. There's Pac-Man in the background. That's a cool little Easter egg there. But Tron is it's dense, and I think you need to kind of dumb it down. This might have to be a quasi reboot, I would think. And I know some Tron diehards will be upset about that, but I'm sure all 20 of them would get over it.
Yeah.
I'm coming out for blood today, apparently.
Yeah, you are. Because I mean, at the same, like, I agree with the only the kind of diehards went out to go see Blade Runner 2049. But I do think it Blade Runner 2049 had more legs, as like, because people were like, oh, like this movie's actually pretty good, everybody can watch it or whatever. I definitely think that Tron does not have that going for it necessarily. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.